Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news, Gilbert Burns reveals he wants to fight Colby Covington for the UFC's welterweight title. When asked if he wants to fight Leon Edwards or Colby, this is what Burns had to say.
I think Colby, but it's still if Colby thinks it's the hardest fight, but it's the perfect fight. It's the fight that I wanted for so long. I've studied him many times, and I would love to face Colby. Even though if it's Colby, it might be interim. Because if Leon is the champion, if something happened to Leon, he's going to be interim battle against Colby. But that's one of the fights that I've been looking for so long that I would love that matchup against Colby, even if it's interim title.
Interesting. So obviously let the best man win, but in an ideal situation, you would like to be facing Colby for the undisputed. That's the fight that you'd like.
Yes.
Daniel Cormier warns Nate Diaz ahead of his boxing match with Jake Paul. Here's what DC had to say during a recent video. I don't know how much I like it. I don't know how much I like the fight based on two things. Jake's big for him. Jake's going to be big for Diaz. And Jake is also improving as a boxer, but Jake can also hit Nate, and that's the worry. Nate is a guy that does get hit because Nate's tough. Nate got hit by Masvidal. Nate got hit by Tony Ferguson. And we know who Tony Ferguson is today, opposed to who Tony Ferguson was before. Nate can be hit, and this guy's going to be bigger than Nate. This guy's going to be fighting in a rule set that benefits him. This guy is going to be difficult. It is going to be a very tough fight for Diaz just because he has to be so aware. Nate Diaz doesn't get tired. So if Nate is going to have an opportunity to win this fight, Nate Diaz has got to set a high pace early, and he's got to keep that pace going the entirety of the fight. And he has got to stay away from that right hand. Am I comfortable making a prediction on this fight? I don't know. But if I'm having to guess, seeing them both recently, I feel like the bigger, younger guy is generally who you would go with. And the bigger, younger, fresher guy is Paul. Paul has not been through wars with Conor McGregor. Paul has not been through the wars of being in UFC championship fights with the best fighters in the world. He's fresh, his toughest fight was against Tommy Fury, and he's bigger. That is what I think may ultimately be one of the biggest issues that my boy Nate has to deal with when it comes to that fight. But if anyone can upset the apple cart, it's Nate Diaz. Dana White is back this week with an all-new recipe. Let's check it out.
What's up, everybody? It's Friday here at UFC headquarters, and today we will be trying the deviled strawberries. For the filling, mix together cream cheese, sour cream, and vanilla. Pipe it into hollowed out strawberries. Finish it with crushed graham crackers. All right, here we go. There's no way this sucks. No way. Impossible. Yeah, it's incredible. Incredible. Easy to make. Again, try them. Winner.
Henry Cejudo believes Israel Adesanya landed a Hail Mary in his fight against Alex Pereira last weekend. Alex Pereira did have him hurt. If there's one thing you guys can take away from, that is Israel, his defense to leg kicks is not all there. He's too out. He's too straightforward. Pereira had him hurt to the leg. Israel just curled up and threw that right hand, went for broke. He threw the Hail Mary and caught him and took him out. Those are the chances you take, and I think the biggest lesson that Pereira could learn is you've got to be careful, man. This isn't glory. You don't have an 8-ounce glove, 10-ounce glove. When you're fighting someone in MMA, it's a 4-ounce glove. He's gotten trouble in those positions before. He's going to be super, super hard to beat at 185 pounds because at 185, he has gone through everybody, and nobody there has any trust in their wrestling. During a recent interview, Max Holloway explains he has plenty more to give in both the featherweight and lightweight divisions. Holloway also goes on to say he's been hearing the chatter of fans who believe he should just retire. Here's the clip.
I want to do more. I want to do more in this weight class. I want to do more in a weight class higher than me. And first things first is Arnold Allen. And I'm hearing the chatter. Everybody keep saying this and that about me. So the whole motto for this whole camp we're still here. I'm still here. I'm right here. You guys call me Maxi Baby for a reason. You guys been watching me since I was 20. I'm 31 now. I'm a vet, but I'm not a vet. I keep telling people, calm down. I'm not a vet. I'm a veteran of sport, but people is like talking to me like I should be retiring tomorrow.
Colby Covington claims the UFC will strip Leon Edwards' title if Edwards doesn't agree to fight him later this year. He's got nowhere to go. If Leon doesn't want to fight, I've already been assured that it's okay, they'll just strip him, and I'm next in line. So the fact that he's trying to cry and act all privileged is just funny. But there's nowhere to go. Dana has assured me I'm fighting him this summer. I don't know the location yet. We'll have to wait and see from Dana and the big bosses at the UFC what they decide. I know he wanted to fight Masvidal so bad. Don't worry, Leon. After I beat you this summer, you can fight George on the prelims. Leon has since responded to Colby's comments. There's actually no clear number one contender. There's no one actually out there that's actually earned it. There's guys coming off 2 losses, 1 win. There's guys that got 1 win, 1 loss. It's a difficult time in the welterweight division. So now I've just got to look towards business. I will sit back, talk to the UFC, talk to my team, and see what's best. It's weird, I don't know why Colby's getting pushed so much. He's coming off 2 losses to the guy that I just currently beat, and then went to beat a guy in Masvidal that just retired, and now sat out for over a year. Turned down Gilbert Burns, turned down Khamzat Chimaev, turned down Bilal, and then came back to a title shot? It's something that I've never seen before. When I was going through the pandemic, having fight cancellations, Khamzat pulled out twice, I pulled out once, Masvidal pulled out, all these fights falling through. I got removed from the rankings for that, even though it was out of my control and wasn't my fault. I got removed out of the rankings. For a guy to be fit and healthy, sit on the sidelines, turn down 3 or 4 fights, and then say he wants to fight for the title, it doesn't make sense. I feel like they should do it like I did it, just shut up and fight. I earned my position, I worked for it, but these guys want handouts and freebies, and that's not the way it works. There's no fight offer, the UFC hasn't even spoken to us. There's no talks of that fight happening. During a recent edition of the Bro Malley podcast, Sean O'Malley and his brother give their take on the recently announced boxing match between Nate Diaz and Jake Paul. O'Malley also says he hopes to fight this summer.
I just do not want to see Nate Diaz on the canvas. Even if it's just a knockdown. For Jake Paul, man, I think that'd just be... MMA fighters would just be pissed if Jake went to knock
I'm
down.
definitely. I feel torn between that one. I love Jake. Nate Diaz is a legend, and it would be hard to see him go down.
I don't want to see Tyron Woodley 2.0 happen. Man. I don't want to see that. But it would be a sick fight. No matter, regardless, Jake's putting on bangers.
Dude, 100%. You're selling out crowd, doing good pay-per-views. I'm constantly interested.
Yeah.
From a fan perspective, I just don't think I'll be able to go, boys. Dallas, August 5th. Ideally, Henry Aljo happens May 6th, and they turn him around. You know, give him 3 months, August, September. Give me a fight, August, September. I'll be in camp, hopefully. So I won't be able to go, which really sucks.
During a recent edition of the Believe You Me podcast, Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith break down this evening's main event between Max Holloway and Arnold Allen.
I think this is, I think it goes without saying, this is going to be Arnold Allen's toughest fight. But it may be the toughest fight for Arnold Allen in the whole division. He does get hit. He is a little bit hittable because he does get flying around, and sometimes I think he just loses his, I don't want to say loses his bearings, but he gets so confident, he's so aggressive. Sometimes he does leave himself open for some shots, and Max Holloway is one of the best boxers, in the UFC ever. So
I'm the best boxer in the UFC.
While he's throwing punches and no look.
Not only throwing punches, looks away from his opponent, and still pot shots.
And then still slipping them. It just crazy. But Arnold Allen's got crazy power in his hands, and Max Holloway, we all love him. We love him for his fight style and his excitement. I believe he's absorbed more strikes than any fighter in UFC history ever. So he's...
Harrington, just look that up, because that's a hell of a stat.
He's also very hittable. So I think it's going to be crazy exciting. And if I was Arnold Allen, I would definitely mix in some takedowns and the up down and keep Max Holloway guessing, because if Max gets himself into a situation where he realizes he's just in a boxing match, it's going to be tough to beat.
Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.